Welcome back, everybody. Episode 3 of the Cover Down podcast. I am Doug, and this delicious piece of man candy right here is your boy Seth.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Pretty good. How was your New Year's / holidays /
It was good.
Yeah.
Did absolutely nothing.
Word.
Yeah. Stayed up till midnight, watched the ball drop.
Oh.
Looked at my watch and was like, all right, let's go to bed.
You still got that young blood in you.
Not really.
Yeah, it was like 10 o'clock. I was out, man. I was out.
So it was, I hit that mark where it was like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm already up. Might as well just ride this out for the remainder of the time. So,
Word.
yeah. So
Yeah,
that was it.
yeah. The first of the year is my anniversary, so it was like before I used to be romantic, because it was like, oh, we'll stay up all night. You're gonna be the first person I'm gonna kiss. You know, and it was a brilliant idea when we were first getting married, because one, I will never forget my anniversary because it's on the first of the year. And they had that little bit of romance to it. Later on in life, horrible friggin' decision.
Yeah.
Because you know what's not open on New Year's Day?
Everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like let's go.
Is even closed. Or no, there's the only place that's open.
Yeah, so that's I can have a romantic battery powered candlelight dinner at McDonald's. Yeah, 20-piece McNugget.
It's made with real chicken.
Yeah, big air quotes around real. But yeah, no, it was pretty cool. You know, Christmas and Yule was pretty awesome for us. Very relaxed. Went up and saw some family.
Yeah, you were out of town.
Yeah. We go up to New Hampshire a lot because that's where my wife's family is. My family's from Maine, so we take a little 3-hour car ride up there. Brought the dog, but I got a coffee mug, and that's about it.
Sweet.
Yeah, I count my dog as the Christmas present. So
yeah,
and then we had our anniversary, which was the first of the year. So Happy New Year's to everybody at home.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, and then yesterday was my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, man, 34 years old.
Holy crap.
Feeling like I'm 44 years old.
34 though.
Oh my god.
USD.
You know what's weird though?
Right
Grade A approved. Yeah, if I shave my beard though, I look 10 years younger. It's weird.
Yeah.
10 years younger with a massive butt chin. So
okay, then there's that.
So, but yeah. So today, episode 3.
Today's a huge day.
Yeah.
Huge day.
We got some special in store for everybody. More so for us.
Yeah.
More so for us. Yeah.
Definitely
I mean, we've already cracked open, a good one.
That's the thing. Whenever this individual comes around, it's, you can't help but crack open up a beer.
I don't even know what I'm drinking right now, but
I know it's your first sour beer, though.
Yeah, I know, right? It has like orange in it. It counts as breakfast, right?
Yeah, it actually is breakfast. Pop-Tarts and orange sour beer, like breakfast of champions.
Yep.
But yeah, this individual that we have today on today's episode is a very, very, very close friend of mine, but also he is a huge supporter of the organization. I mean, ever since I got involved with this, it was the first words out of his mouth were, "What can I do to help?"
Word.
And after that, it was just, I mean, the friendship, the relationship, the professional relationship, like everything just snowballed from there. And half the time, like him and I are up at 1-2 o'clock in the morning. We're texting each other, and kind of like what you and I do with the show. Right?
Insomniacs unite.
Yeah, but there's a reason though. Like he's the owner of Two Brothers Restaurant and Pub out in Salem, Connecticut.
Word.
Out in Salem Four Corners, or what used to be the Four Corners. Now it's the Salem Roundabout.
Now it's 5 corners.
Yeah.
Or it's a perpetual amount of corners.
Yeah. So
someone do the math.
It was only fitting that we have this individual on as our first guest. Like this was huge to be able to line it up to get him on.
Yeah, right. We want to take this platform, and we want to not only spread our message, but we want to use it as a way to give back to those who give to the Guardians, right? And give back to the community. Yeah. So this is our way of kind of putting them on a pedestal and saying, hey, they're pretty awesome. You should check these people out.
Yeah. And I think in our first episode, we talked about having those people in the community that are those silent heroes, right? The people who they give and they give and they give and they give, but they kind of just linger in the shadows, and it's they're that huge silent supporter. And this platform is, like we talked about, is we are going to use this to put the spotlight on those people and say, hey, look, we know you're not looking for that pat on the back, but you deserve it for everything that you do. Yeah. Right. And to be a constant supporter, I've been doing this for almost 7 years, and to have this individual by my side every step of the way. We need to put a couple more spotlights in the studio just so we can highlight this individual. but it's absolutely
They can be taken so wrong. They're gonna need more spotlights.
Yeah, I mean, without further ado, like, let's bring this dude on. Everyone knows this individual as Niko, aka the Greek Freak. He's the owner of Two Brothers Restaurant and Pub out in Salem, Connecticut. But not only that, he is a professional beer chugger and a professional hugger. So let's bring him on.
Yeah,
buddy, let's go. Whoa! What's up? How you doing, Ken? Come on, bud. Come on, sit down.
Oh, yeah, give me some man candy.
oh yeah.
All right, let me get my sweet, sexy, little skinny guy self over here. Dude, I'm totally stoked, and that was some really nice stuff that you guys said about me.
Oh, it's all true.
I was giggling in the background.
Yeah, we heard you. We heard you. All right, so how was your holiday, buddy?
Fantastic, actually. Thanks to my wife, Annie. It was her idea. We impromptu decided not to go to Kentucky and fly to Greece and surprise my dad for Christmas, which was super awesome. Super awesome. He was very excited, had no clue.
Yeah. I have to say, like, I get exhausted just following you on Facebook.
Oh, it's exhausting.
Like, I see your antics in the restaurant, and then an hour later you're out at some party with some funky hat on, and then I turn around 20 minutes later and you're like, yeah, 27 hours later I'm in Greece, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like, I'm like, no, I'm taking a nap. I'm done.
Just warp speed around the world, huh?
Yeah,
You lead by example, buddy.
No,
I gotta follow.
No. I live vicariously through you. It's like, why go to Greece when I can just look at all your Facebook posts, right?
It sure was an adventure.
No, I'm definitely gonna make it out there, but
Yeah, it's a lot better weather.
With Air Serbia. That's all I gotta say. No bueno.
No bueno.
All right, so let's talk about you are the owner of Two Brothers Restaurant and Pub out in Salem.
I am. I'm one of the owners. My brother Alex and I.
Hence the name Two Brothers.
And my parents.
Oh, that makes so much sense now.
Are you serious? You didn't realize?
No,
that?
I'm just. Come on, man.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I figured. You know, 'cause I did some research before we started the show. I actually went onto the website. There's a picture of him and his brother.
Oh, okay.
So I
was making sure.
Yeah.
My brother's the brains of the operation.
No, you're
I just
the
make
brains.
the pies.
Yeah, you're the brains. I do have to say you are the brains, because there is a lot that I've learned from you just by watching you run the restaurant.
About the restaurant, about pizza in general.
Oh my God, I can't even tell you how many pizzas I've eaten in that.
Oh no, I have questions. Don't worry.
Like, oh my God, that meat lovers pizza. It's like I walk in there and they're like, "Ah, Doug's here. Put a large meat lovers in the oven."
Yep. We all did. Oh yeah, look, the dude who loves meats here. Yeah.
So I just want to talk about the atmosphere of the restaurant real quick. I think everyone can agree that when we go into, or especially for me, when I go into another restaurant, like, it has that restaurant vibe, right? There's that expectation that you walk in, you sit down, you get served, you pay, and then you leave. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's like the
Checks.
restaurant vibe.
Checks with charts.
You get that feeling. But I have to say that when I walk into your restaurant, I don't have that feeling. It's like I'm walking into, say, like my parents' house, or I'm walking into like a really good friend's house, and you're always greeted with a smile. We were just talking before the show that, some of your staff, excellent staff that just greet you with like a smile, a hug, and there's that banter. But
thanks, man. I appreciate that. They work really hard. I love the
culture that you have created within that restaurant. And if you're not there, like, the one thing I also love is I'll sit down and there's 3 or 4 people sitting in the booths or up at the bar that I've met before, and we're having that conversation. It's like, oh, hey, how the hell you doing, right? So it's
kind of like Cheers, like
where everyone knows your name.
Everyone.
It's not just a bunch of words.
Name.
Like, one of my things is I just love connecting people.
Yeah.
We all have a story. We all come from somewhere. And if you see someone, especially vets, try to connect those dots. Places you served, or same boats, or it could be anything. Most people are cut from the same cloth.
Yeah. There's definitely that feeling of that camaraderie when you walk in. You definitely get that feeling where it's like you can just sit down and you can sit next to a complete stranger at the bar and just order a drink, and by the time you're done paying your tab, it's like you're already friends on Facebook. You're lining up a day to come back and have another beer, and it's it's just an environment and a culture that you just don't see in a lot of places. So, and you know, and I love the pizza. I gotta say, like, you know, personally, how many meat lover pizzas I've eaten. In that
I know.
place.
I gotta look to renaming that pizza.
Exactly.
It's a new menu.
Yep.
It's called the Doug.
Oh, that'd be sick. Call the Doug.
Honestly, I mean, there's
Or the Dougie. There
I'm
you
like, he doesn't even have to order. He just texts my wait staff and it's done.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when the waitstaff will actually message you and be like, "Hey, we have the chicken and waffle sandwich, or we have the chicken and waffle pizza on special," and I'm just like, done. Let's go.
That guy in a little coat. That guy in a little coat.
Done. Let's go. And I'll text him. I'm like, heading there now.
I can see two brothers doing the buddy check. Doug, we haven't heard from you in a week. Is everything okay?
We'll see if that happens.
You're in luck because this week's pizza special is chicken and waffles.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. I finally got some great waffles.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
Bam!
Oh man.
All right, so as a pizza professional, as we'll describe it right now. I do have a few questions. What is Greek pizza?
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between Greek pizza and other pizzas? I'm asking for a friend.
I think the only difference is it's pan pizza. It's a medium crust. I mean, I guess if you went to Pizza Hut, you'd get a pan pizza too, but their pans suck.
Yep. Pizza Hut's pants suck.
Yeah, if I want
Far superior pants. Your level 1 pants.
I'd buy one.
Yep.
And put some cheese and sauce on it.
Yeah, it's always been difficult for me because, you know, one thing that I've learned about Connecticut, like Connecticut people are obsessed with their pizza.
Yeah, it's like a cult.
It's very. I think it's because we're in close proximity to New York.
Yes.
But they'll be like, "Oh no, you got to go to this place. It has better this. It has better that." And like for me, just growing up in the backwoods of Maine, I'm like, "Pizza's pizza, man. Like it's all the same." But I'm slowly learning that that's not the case.
I do like other pizzas too. I love Italian style and brick oven. You know, people see me out and about in other pizza places, and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "I eat out too."
Yeah.
I like other people's food.
That's such a weird notion to think about, but it makes so much sense when you say it out loud. Like, oh, I guess so. Yeah. Okay, 2 more questions. 1,
Whatever you want.
is it acceptable to eat pizza with a fork?
I saw someone last night doing the same thing and asked him if they were French. And he goes, "No, I'm Irish."
So I will comment on that, right? And so there are times like I'll go into the restaurant and I am like just so hungry that I cannot wait, right? So when that pizza comes out and it hits the table, like immediately
Which
I'm
I've seen.
drooling, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of times that cheese is so hot, it's like molten lava. So I'm like, do I want to burn my mouth on this thing? But I don't want to wait. So I'm stuck in a quandary at this point. Like, what do I do? Yes, at that point, when the cheese is like molten lava, it is acceptable, but it's only for a half a slice. That's it. Anything more, you're done. Like,
I think at the end of the
Pay
day,
your
it's
tab
your
and go
pizza. You should eat it the way you want it.
That's true. Yeah. Do you get pissed off when you see people like not eat the crust? Because personally, the crust is my favorite part of the pizza.
that crust is hard to master, though. That's the thing.
Like if you got a good crust at the end, because like when people are like, oh, I'm gonna order pizza and breadsticks, I'm like, you stupid shit. You have breadsticks on the end of your pizza. Like
It's true.
we're
Like-
wasting your money. Just eat more pizza.
I do have a customer that eats most of the pizza, but saves the crust for his dog, which is mad respect to me. I'm like, that's cool.
I mean, you're gonna feed your
Crust too.
dog anything. Man, we'll feed some
So speaking
brothers
of dogs,
pizza.
I do have to say my two know when I come home with your pizza. They know. They'll sit there and they're like, they're looking at me like, you give us the crust sometimes. Like, why aren't you giving me the crust right now? And my mastiff lab, like as soon as he smells it, it's just like the spit bubbles just start forming and he starts drooling. It's like, dude, you need to go outside, bro.
I would like to add that I despise square pizzas, like cut in squares, because you are not getting a piece of the crust. You're getting jibbed out.
Yeah. Whenever we get a square pizza from anywhere, the first place I'm going is the corners, man. Because I get more crust.
Yeah. Lots of crust. Yeah. That much, a little pizza.
Yeah. There's a place in town, and they have really great sandwiches, and we'll go there, like, sometimes our schedules get really, really busy, and one night I made the mistake of ordering their pizza. And I was craving pizza, and I didn't have the time to drive, the 35, 40 minutes out to your restaurant, and I was just like, you know what? Just give me a pizza, we'll call it a night. And I open up the box, and I'm like, what is this?
It's a paper plate with a pepperoni on it.
Ruin this pizza. You cut it a round pizza into squares. Like, what are you doing?
Think this is big enough? This is a pizza for ants.
Getting more pieces.
Yeah, I'm very, very particular about what.
I have a question.
Okay.
What do you got, Nick?
Yes.
Question from the producer, folks.
Yeah.
As a business owner, a restaurant owner, if you saw somebody walking around grabbing pickles that were left over.
Oh yeah. Okay. So let's say a random person comes into the restaurant. Okay.
Doug.
And yeah. Well, no,
Doug.
we're just gonna call him Doug. Not that Doug, but a different Doug. Just a Doug. And he finishes his meal, but he looks around and he notices that certain individuals who receive a spear pickle with their meal are not eating their pickles. So he takes it upon himself to go up and ensure that food is not wasted and starts eating random spear pickles.
Eat it randomly and just ask him, is it socially acceptable to go up to someone and say, hey, are you going to eat that pickle? Like,
follow-up question, will you make a pickle pizza?
Actually, I would love to experiment with a pickle pizza.
Let's do it.
You guys should come up with something.
Pickles and pepperoncinis.
Come down to the restaurant and let's make a few
Game
different
changer.
ones and try it out. And
Hell
see
yeah.
what the winner is. And then we could call it
Pickle time?
We can call it the cover down.
The cover.
Oh, dude, that could be a cool thing, man. I'm in.
Let's do it. Pickles and pepperoncinis.
Pickles and pepperoncinis, man.
Walking up to a total stranger and
Asking them for the pickle?
liberating their pickles
Liberating.
is totally acceptable.
That is
Ma'am, does your pickle need freedom? I'm here to supply.
We say pickles. We're American.
Oh my gosh. We're going to have the name as like the Pickle Liberators.
Hey, you got my vote.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's go
God.
back to the pizza, 'cause now I want pizza.
Yeah, so
I think that would be great. A great combination.
I think
pickles and pepperoni.
would you do spicy pickles?
No, because you
already got spice in the
I would do like
pepperoni.
a sweet pickle because
see?
the pepperoni will counteract.
That's
the
a little.
spiciness
See, I'm not a
of the-
fan of sweet pickles. I like dill. Bread
like
pickles are
dill.
cool. Try bread pickles, maybe.
I think I should get a few different pickles. I think you guys come down one night and we experiment with a few different sauces and some different formats and see what
Let's
works.
do it.
Get some Monster Energy pickles.
Another episode, actually.
Maybe you can have some of your amazing viewers chime in and think what they think. you know?
What if we do pepperoncinis and pickles, but we take the pepperoncinis and the pickles out of the jars and we soak them in vodka? So it's like a penny olive
I
vodka.
do that because a lot of times I'll order like 2 pizzas and then that's my lunch for work, so I can't be bringing
The alcohol
anything
burns
to
out.
work.
The alcohol will burn out of it. Knowing you'll probably drink the juice afterwards. Pepperoni and pickle vodka.
Oh my
Ooh,
God.
that actually sounds good.
You drank that.
Or banana
I would.
peppers.
Banana peppers. That'd be a nice shot to take.
Banana peppers and pickles.
Oh, speaking of which, I was on your website and I saw that you guys have this interesting mug system.
Yeah.
Can
the
you
beer
explain that? That's new to me. I've never seen that before.
oh my God, I think it's on year 12 or 14, one of the two.
It's obviously working.
Yeah.
That or you're just really, really consistent about it.
This year it's $85. It's for the year. It's a 20-ounce mug, so you get more beer for less initially. When you sign up, you get a free beer. You get a free beer on your birthday. If you're friends with Nick, you get free beers all the time.
Word.
Can confirm.
And it's a nice little social
Sips
platform. There's a lot of people that have come in and become Mug Club members, and we become friends. Or
So if I come and buy a mug, is it like anytime I show up, I'm like, hey, hit me, daddy? And you just
there's a
pour me
wait
one?
list, but
okay.
because of your stature, I think you have a damn good chance of getting in real quick.
Ah, nice. Cool. It pays to know people.
So do we go to the restaurant and then we just pay you at the restaurant for that mug, or how does that work?
Yep. Pay me I put you on the list. You can decorate your mug as you see fit, as long as it's not pornographic or, what is it? Help me out.
Overly offensive.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
derogatory in any manner.
There are some cool stickers out there that hide that, but say the truth. You know? So I'm all for it.
All right, cool.
That's awesome.
I think I'm gonna have to make a trip out there and get me a mug.
Get some cover down mugs out there.
Drink your sour's desire.
Oh my god, you have ruined me for sours.
But yeah, no, I was looking online and I went onto Google. 600 reviews. It's a pretty high star average for you guys. It was doing pretty good. But I was looking at the pictures and I was like, yeah, this pizza's some next level shit out here. So like, I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know. It looks pretty damn good.
My parents definitely have worked their ass off, and they always had a simple recipe, for life, to work hard, be respectful, try to give out the best product you can. We've taken those stepping stones and built that platform on it. So because of them, we're here.
It shows.
Good, man.
The only thing about that food, it's consistent. Always consistent.
You have to be consistent in the restaurant industry.
Never.
Our motto is like, would you eat that? Mm-hmm. If you're going to plate it and it doesn't taste good, doesn't look good, why would you put it out for somebody else to eat? I'd just rather tell you the truth. If something happened, I'll make something else for you. Whatever the case might be, don't serve crap. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not crap. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've eaten a lot of food in that place.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
A lot of food. All right. So how long have you owned the restaurant?
I believe it now. It's 22 years. This location.
Lord. Wow.
We've been doing this for quite a while. We came from Greece in September 11th, 1976. So it's a very bittersweet day for me. It's good.
Wait. So you came from Greece?
Yeah.
In 1976.
Yeah.
So that means that you were here for the horrid 90s of watching people eat pizza backwards with stuffed crust. How'd you feel about that, coming from Greece, being like, what the hell are these friggin' Yanks doing?
I didn't. I was 5 years old. I ate stuffed pizza. I'm like, if it had cheese and pepperoni, I was your man.
Yep.
There you go.
There's innovative ideas out there. I think people should try something new, or try something old with a new twist.
Well, there you go.
Change it up a little bit. Life's boring sometimes.
I'm a big fan of margarita pizza. I'm also a big fan of margaritas. So, right? They don't have to be together. I will have them. I prefer them together.
Yeah, come down. I'll treat you for your birthday.
Yeah. So wow, you said, what did you say? 22 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in that location.
In that location?
Yeah.
Wow.
We've had several restaurants and a bar, liquor store, all in the hospitality, food, and beverage industry along the way.
Jeez.
So yeah, so tell us about your journey, man. Tell us about coming from from the homeland to the new.
I was young. I was 5. My brother was 3. Both my parents have a 6th grade education.
Mm-hmm. Oh, me too.
All right. My uncle brought us here for a better opportunity, something, the American dream, really, truly. I hear it all the time. I'm like, oh, America this, America that. I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about. You had the luxury of actually being born here. You speak English, and you have opportunities that most people in the world do not, nor will they. So we came here. My parents worked very, very hard. We grew up in the restaurant business. I remember one year I was probably about 12. We got invited to the neighbor's house for dinner, a real sit-down American dinner. I was shocked. I looked at my brother. I'm like, what is this? And I went home that night, and I was like, Mom, we sat together, all together, and had dinner. This was amazing. She goes, yeah, good luck with all that, Nick. I'm like, we eat at the restaurant. It was amazing, but it's small little things that you take for granted that you miss out.
Yeah, it lends you some perspective.
Oh, huge,
right?
Man. This country has really given us a huge opportunity. You cut me open, red, white, and blue flows right out.
Nice.
So when people trash this country, I take a big offense to that. It's no bueno on me.
Yeah, I had the privilege of spending Christmas with 3 Cuban immigrants. That's
awesome.
And man, they were just blown away to see like a 15-foot long table full of food. They had never seen that much food in their entire lives. They were grown men, all right, and they were just blown away. And they wanted to help clean any dish that you asked. Didn't want to sit there. They were very thankful I felt so privileged just to be there, and I made sure to show my kids, my oldest being 13 and my youngest being 7. I was like, pay attention to this. Remember what you have, because the one thing about us, all right, where we've traveled around the world, and you, all right, coming from outside of the United States originally, is that we have some perspective, all right. We know what we got here and how awesome it is, and to not take it for granted.
Well, you've had that opportunity to see outside of the United States, especially being veterans and being in the military and traveling abroad. Like, it does put things in perspective.
It really does.
It gives you a humble experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say too, like, I just noticed, like, you talked about that experience where, you went to the friend's house and you sat down, you had a meal together, and that was kind of like life-changing for you, right? Like, you saw a different perspective of something. You saw what the meaning of a meal with a family was. One thing that you can definitely notice in the restaurant is you sit with a lot of your customers. Like, every time I go in there, you're always like scooting into the booth. You're kind of like scooting up next to the table. You're kind of eating with them at the bar. It's like every single customer that comes in, you're taking, whether it's 3 minutes or 10 minutes, like, you're literally sitting down with each of them and you're talking with them. So I think it's really awesome that you take that memory, and whether you realized it or not, it's like you just harbored it. And then you just project that into the restaurant where people get that family feel.
It's important because I've seen kids that, have gone from, 5, 7, 10, and now they're graduating college, or they have professional jobs, and they come back. You see these kids grow, and it's phenomenal.
That's cool, because instead of feeling like you're going to a restaurant, you feel like you're just going over to Niko's house and he's going to cook you some food.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it is.
Over.
That's pretty much what it is.
I like that. That sounds great, man. I got to get out there.
Yeah. So you talked about, like, us being in the military and being veterans, and whether people realize it or not, you're a veteran yourself.
I am.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a hot minute.
All right. It's a very short time of my life. No.
But it's a very interesting story, though.
Yeah.
Growing up here, I always wanted to join the U.S. military. But because I had an eye disability, they wouldn't take me here. That's really the short version of it. I don't want to bore anybody to death about it. So I was devastated. That's all I wanted to do. So taking that away, I turned to my dad. I'm like, can you help me get into the Greek army? Because they'll take anybody.
Note to self.
He said, Nick, it's not what you think. And he was right. But I'm 19 years old, full of piss and vinegar. I'm like, I'm ready to go. So he helped me during doing the journey in the process. September 6th of 1990, I went to boot camp in Greece. And he was right. It wasn't what I thought. I thought because I knew Greek and I could speak Greek that I was all that. Yeah, I was brought down to a very low level.
You were humbled real quick.
I was, after boot camp, I went to mechanized infantry. And in Greece, depending on where you are written, like I was written in my dad's village, so my paperwork is there. Different sections of Greece, they prioritize to what branch you're going to go into. So that region, I was Army.
Really? So you're telling me, first off, for those who are watching,
2 against 1, yeah.
Right, there's a specific word that you used there. You said village, which I always love hearing that.
Yeah.
Just because that's such a stark contrast to what we're used to here in the States. Because it's like, oh yeah, it's the town over there. It's like a village. All right.
Yeah. So
it's small.
Like under 600.
Yeah, that's small. But you're saying like the depending on where you lived would determine which branch of service you would be enlisted into.
Yep.
Wow.
And so I was sent in mechanized infantry.
I would have been the Coast Guard if that was the case for us.
Like, oh my God, you rode around in tanks and armor all day? I'm like, no, I was that poor schlep running next to it.
No.
With all the heavy crap.
Mechanized infantry, that sounds awesome. Where's the robots?
I'm like, like you watch Band of Brothers and they're setting up machine gun and foxhole outposts around the tanks to protect them. Yeah, that's what I did. I dug a lot of holes.
You're just walking around
sandbags
with a shovel. Just
he traded his weapon for a what was it, a tool.
Yeah. But it was one of the best experiences of my life. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Yeah. It taught me a lot about myself and who I am today. it was a great experience. I met some really cool people, and also I met some really bad people.
Yeah,
and,
it happens sometimes, right?
Yeah.
You know, you take a young person and you pretty much dissect them and you bring them down to a low level, and then you rebuild them to who they are today.
That's nice to know that is a universal method.
Yeah, just
for
doesn't happen here in the States.
Yeah, but it's true though, right?
Yeah.
Where they break us down to just the bare bones, right? And they build us in the image of what the service requires.
Yep.
And now they can only put us back to the way that we were beforehand.
I'll do that. But if it wasn't for those experiences, you know, man, maybe I'd be boring.
No, I don't think so.
So how long was your service?
So being out of the country all right, let me back up a little bit. Greece has a automatic draft, but because we're broken up into classes, so mine was 208. I could have actually paid for an honorable discharge, but that's not what I wanted. So I chose to go, and being that I volunteered was unheard of. I'm less than 1% that ever does that.
So they could conscript people,
Yes.
right? And then you have the option to basically opt out of it,
Yeah, certain classes you can, like my brother's. He wasn't ever going to go back to Greece, so we paid for his honorable discharge. It was cheap. It was $1,500.
Wow.
I'm like, personally, I wanted to go. I told them that I would go for him.
I'm not gonna lie. I really would like that option here for some of the people that I serve with. Like, you did $1,500, and you can just leave us the hell alone.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
There is the deserving to leave.
Yeah.
But because their system is so ass backwards, I only served 7 months.
Wow.
So if I wanted to stay longer, I would have to get my honorable discharge, wait 6 months, re-enlist, and serve every 3 or 4 years. And I looked at the recruiter. I'm like, that's totally asinine. I'm like, why would you waste that money and time and resources so I can go through the same process all over again? You have me now.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's odd.
Needless to say, so when they found out that I have a cooking background, they stuck me in the kitchens. So I purposely...
Never let them know you can do something good, because you're going to do it all the time.
Yep. Stay in the back of the line. So I purposely failed so they can send me back to infantry. Later on, I wish
I respect that.
Never did that because it got brutally cold. But it was a great experience. I met some great people, and I still keep in touch with 2 of my they're lifelong friends. We served together. Yeah.
Yeah. Just Seth, I know you can agree with this statement. Like there's a certain level of pride, like when you serve your country. Right?
Yeah.
Like there's that. I think it's like less than 1% or 2% of the population joins the military. So being part of that,
roughly 1%. Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to call it elite, but being part of this like collective family. Right?
Yeah, I say, have you seen me? Do I look elite to you? Like, come on, man.
But there's that certain level of pride that one has for serving their country, right? And I take a lot of pride in the fact that I served in the Army, and then I did my time and all that stuff, and I take pride in the fact that I'm a veteran. But then there's uber pride, I guess you can call it, to be able to sit there and come from a different country.
Uber pride.
Come to America and just be like, I want to serve in my country's military, right? I want to go back to my country and serve that country itself. So
yeah.
that's like next level, pride.
I mean, you really wanted to serve. That's commendable, man. That's like huge. That sense of service,
character, and, integrity, and all that.
Serve the country. They gave us everything.
Yeah.
What's more than that? I would have cleaned garbages.
Yeah, and so does everybody serve there? Is it a mandatory service?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah, so that there's that too, right? I mean, here in America, it's an entirely voluntary service.
It's funny. I used to get paid 980 drachmas, which was like $3.30.
Drachma's the coolest name for a currency. Drachmas.
I could buy a cheap pack of smokes.
Nice.
I'll give you 4 drachmas for that.
This is some Game of Thrones shit.
One of the things,
the
one thing that was actually really cool on Saturdays and Sundays for lunch and dinner, with your meals, you got beer. A lot of people drink beer. So I had cases of beers. It was amazing.
Nothing has changed.
Nice.
You come walking in the door and you have a case of beer with you, and you're like, hey.
Oh, thanks by the way. I felt better about drinking it at 10 o'clock in the morning because it had orange juice in it.
One of my experiences, I was on the island of Lesbos, which is pretty much like lesbians.
I think it's the official term, right?
But I was trained in putting in and taking out landmines. And the whole format is, everything is U.S. military. So all the schematics, U.S. military. So the instructor's out there trying to explain it in his broken English. And I'm giggling in the back, and he goes, Alevras. He goes, what's so funny? I'm like, yeah, well, you missed a step. He goes, do you know this? I'm like, actually, I do. I'm like, he goes, well, why don't you teach class? So I did.
Nailed it.
And being able to speak Greek and translate, I did a damn good job.
Nice.
And that's how I got promoted to corporal.
Yeah, that's a very rare thing. I've noticed that. I had one guy, my buddy Alan, on my first deployment who spoke fluent French, and it's because his father was in the French army and he had dual citizenship. He actually spent most of his school years going to French school and with summer in the United States. So
awesome.
Then he joined the service. The submarines, when we ported in Toulon, France, he was topside yelling at all the line handlers, telling them to put things where and stuff. But you know what, though? It was such an awesome experience to have somebody who spoke the country's language so fluently that they couldn't distinguish him as American.
Yep.
They thought he was French.
That's huge.
And so we would go to the most, remote places and really see the country for what it is. Like when people come to America, they're like, we're going to go to New York. I'm like, that's not all of the United States, guys. Like that's just, most people in the United States don't want to go there. So to be able to go, out in the remote areas and really kind of see what the culture's like is super cool. So it's not a very common thing to have people in the service that actually know how to speak fluent languages outside of what their job is.
I went to Puerto Rico and did the IW hike with Mario for the first hike, and I tried that, right? Like I wanted to be respectful to that area, and I tried speaking the language, and it was like I think I bought something at a store and I just rattled something off in Spanish, and then someone looks at me and they're like, "You just told him to have a good bathroom or have a good toilet," and I was just like, "All right, well, that's
not bad." I wish when I went in there to give the Thunder Bucket its greatest challenge, someone would wish me luck.
Next time they go, everything comes out smoothly, right? That's it.
Which was awesome because these guys FaceTimed me right before the hike
started. My God. No, we were mid-hike and we FaceTimed him. And guess where he was? In the toilet.
Nice.
Throne.
Yeah.
I was very happy to receive that FaceTime.
All right, Thunder Bucket.
Shirtless, and we're sitting there like, and that just
got the meat sweats just in there. Yeah.
So with you being a Greek veteran and you being here in America and whatnot, you could basically appreciate like the veterans of America and stuff. Is this why you're so heavily involved in the veteran community, or?
I've had a lot of friends that I grew up with, childhood friends that joined the military, served proudly. Some are retired. Having that, I've always appreciated the military, not just the military, but the veterans and the camaraderie. That brotherhood means a lot to me. So, being able to serve, I wanted to follow in their footsteps too, because I want to be proud of something.
Yeah.
And myself, and having that brotherhood, whether you served in Greece or France or England or whatever, we all have a common bond. And
different uniform, same fight, right?
Yep. Unless you're from some other countries, then forget you.
We won't name names, but you know who you are.
But I've had a lot of momentums, like friends that I've been deployed 2, 3, 4 times. I always keep something keepsake of them until they came home. I would give it back, or it hangs in the restaurant. There's little mementos like that we have to take care of each other. That's the biggest part, is it's not just one person's fight.
Yeah.
And I love veterans, and that's a loose term, but there's people that don't deserve it. But you try to help where your help is needed, and it's really 1%. Do the best. If you find a veteran that needs a hand, help them.
Yeah.
sometimes a cup of coffee or a simple conversation, it can be a huge outcome. And
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So with you being heavily involved in the veteran community, and I mean heavily involved, I really don't think people understand the magnitude of your involvement when it comes to the veteran community. And I can speak on behalf of that because personally I see it, right? Like I get to see behind the curtains and, you know, and we talk a lot about that. But more specifically, I just want to ask, and this is just for the organization and our platforms, like what does it mean to you to be involved with the Guardians? Because we've always had your support, right? From day one, it was just like, what can I do to help? And like every single time we talk, it's like, I love your mission. I love what you do. But is there more to that?
I have some pretty close friends, heartfelt friends that are Purple Heart recipients. And a lot of them have been forgotten through time. I'd like to keep that actively going because no one should ever be forgotten. You know, you get a Purple Heart, it means not that not everybody else doesn't deserve it, but when you get a Purple Heart, you've been through hell and you've exposed yourself to some pretty evil shit.
Yeah.
And, it pains me. So my wife, and actually I finally have come to terms with it. Apparently I'm an empath. So when
I could definitely agree with that.
Somebody tells me their story, I feel it like right down to my very core of my soul, and it pains me. And I want to be able to make a difference and maybe help somebody, even if it's literally a cup of coffee or breaking bread.
Yeah, it's the nicest selfish reason in the world. When it makes me feel amazing when I can make you be happy and feel awesome. I think it's a wonderful thing. It really is.
Smile on their face, and every Purple Heart recipient veteran that you guys have worked with, their stories are just like
crazy.
Damn onions, man.
Wow.
I fucking cry.
Yeah.
If that's
it's
I
tough.
can swear that I can't hold it back. It's just like, and to be able for them to sit up there and tell their story to a bunch of strangers, you gotta feel for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I love what you guys do. You don't just help them; you help their families too. There's
they feel that impact as well.
Huge, and it comes around, man. You change their life. Even like the last recipient, Miko.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jason, but named Miko.
Holy cow! What he went through is just. I couldn't imagine losing your closest friend right there in front of you.
Yeah. It's extraordinary.
I don't want to say weird, but what was very shocking to me is when I was talking to him and I was getting his story, and he was telling to me, he was laughing the entire way through it, and he was like, and legit word for word, he said, what really pissed me off is after the vehicle-borne improvised explosive device went off, and he's like, and I was thrown against the concrete barrier. He's like, after I kind of woke up and came to, he was just like, I was pissed, and I was like, am I dead? Am I really dead? Oh, this is really going to ruin my day. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
but in those moments, I was talking to my wife about this the other day. It's so interesting that in those moments, because I've had a few in my life, what people consider important.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, it's never the things you're ever going to really think about. It's always going to be the, who's going to take care of my dog?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm going to miss doing this, or it's something like that. Right? It's the things that really actually have an impact on your life. And it puts a lot of stuff in perspective.
And I think too, what a lot of people, and you mentioned it too, is like where you change the family's life is when we help the Purple Heart recipient, and you have a direct link to like relieving a lot of stress off of their shoulders. But what I think a lot of people don't see and focus on is when we do the reveal of like what we're doing to help them and what we've paid off or what we do, is not only looking at the recipient itself, but watching the family. Because then the family has this realization like, oh, they're now stress-free, right? Like, we don't have to worry about this. And then having our last recipient, had his 2 kids there and stuff, and watching the 2 kids kind of like realize that dad's not stressing now. Like, now I don't have to worry about.
I mean, there's also the fact that the kids get to see really how important their dad is.
Not only that,
to our country and to the community. It's Dad might have shared this story with you at one point in time, but I don't think you at your age have fully grasped the level of sacrifice and how important it is.
And their significant others, that you really don't know the magnitude until you hear a story like that, and then it clicks, and you're like, oh my God, I get it.
Yep. And I'm sure they walk away with a very high level of pride for their loved one, being like, oh, this is a big deal. And they did sacrifice a lot.
What you guys do changes everything, and for better tomorrow. It's very proactive, and it's not one day or 1 week. It magnitudes for years to come.
Yeah, I still get messages from our recipients, significant others, and moms and dads, and stuff like that, where it's like, hey, so and so is doing great, because of you guys, we were able to do this. And our last recipient, like, they've had this dream of moving to Maine, and because of their situation, like, they were held here, but because we stepped in and we helped and we had the support, of Niko and all that stuff, we were actually able to help them achieve that dream and achieve that goal. And to be able to talk to the recipient before we help, and then talk to the recipient now and their family, there's a huge shift in dynamics. There's a huge shift in, like, the tone of their voice, their delivery, their, the way they talk and speak and act, and the pictures that come through. It's absolutely amazing.
Yep, it's guardian family, man.
And I always say, like, we might be out there pounding the pavement. We might be out there putting in the work and pulling the events and doing the long hours. But it's people like you who make that happen, right? It's people like you who constantly give to the organization. And it's not like, what do I get in return? It's here, take this, take this, take this. And because of that, we're able to take this huge ball of stress and worry off of somebody's shoulders. And like I said in my last speech at the dinner, we would not be successful. We would not be who we are if it wasn't for, the huge support of the community and, huge support from you, buddy. So we owe a lot of our success to you.
We may not do, like we talked about in a previous episode, we're more quality instead of quantity. But the one thing that we try to do is do one thing and do that one thing very well.
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
Yep. Exactly.
All the volunteers that have come and gone in your organization, everybody has put, their love and passion and their 2 cents into it. And it's led to this point, and from here it's only up. Just keep doing what you're doing, and
there's no stopping us. There's no stopping.
The rest of us are gonna fall. We're all happy to be part of the journey.
Right. It's folks like yourself that make this possible. To do the thing that we talk about constantly, and that is to create something that outlives all of us.
Yep.
That keeps going long after we're gone. And I think if we continue down this path, if we continue to meet and develop positive relationships with people like yourself and other organizations, that is a very, very obtainable thing.
I just want to add that I'm also a proud member of the Guardians of the Purple Heart Riders. So
hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, that leads into, like,
that's a lot of fun.
So let's come off of the heavy stuff for a hot minute. But, like, when you're not slinging pizzas and you're not, like, doing everything that you can for the community, rucking for another cause, or hopping on another airplane to Greece.
We're not kicking it back in Lesbos.
It's like, where's Niko? Where's Niko? One of 3 places. He's rucking, he's slinging pizzas, or he's in Greece, right? Like, pick one.
It's very James Bondish.
Yeah. What do you do for that? For fun? Like, what do you do to kind of, like, recenter yourself so you can come back at it, say, Monday morning and hit the ground running at 400 miles an hour?
When the weather's nice, I love to ride my Harley.
Hell yeah.
That's
nice.
Love that.
It's freeing, man.
It's free. You know what? Even if it's up and down the driveway, there's a big shit-eating grin on my face.
You know what? So, like, there's 2 things that I've ever done in my life where I actually had, like, this feeling of bliss while I was doing it. The very first one, when I was 15 years old and I started snowboarding, right? Because you're out there, you're in the wilderness, you're in fresh air, you're gliding across the snow down this mountain. You feel very one with nature. It's very, very hippy-dippy shit, right? But the other one was when the first time I got on the road with a motorcycle. There's no better feeling. Yeah. There is no better feeling than cruising down the road and my American flag on the back of the bike, my stereo cranked up to Leonard Skinner radio, and just getting it. And man, you want to feel like a badass for a moment. You want to feel awesome and free. That's the moment right there, man. That's what riding's about.
Customers ask me, they're like, well, what's it like? I'm like, one word. It's freedom.
Oh, absolutely. It's the only word.
You never know. And maybe you'll come close with a Jeep with the top open, right, Kevin?
Hey, man, Jeep fam. Gotta get it, man. But, fully understand.
Does he got that peg outside the door? Like he puts his
yeah, the rest peg? Yeah, we gotta get some of those.
Jeep is totally badass, and it's called Orange Crush.
Nice.
Oh, sweet. We'll have to get some pictures of that and post it up on our platform.
Oh, my wife says oh, yeah, do you do the Jeep wave whenever you ride by somebody? Yeah, you gotta do the wave. No. I get pissed off when people don't do the wave. I'm like, you obviously don't know.
My wife's like, come on, you didn't do it. Yeah. Didn't do the wave. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I can definitely attest to that, riding the motorcycle. And you actually helped me when I first started, riding and whatnot. And it's, every time it's like, hey, let's go for a ride. Like, I'm down. Let's go. Let's do it.
When you see somebody that has such a passion and, needs a little helping hand in the right direction.
Oh, so you showed Doug how to ride? You gave him the pointers?
Nope.
Showed him the ropes, or?
I just, helped him get his first bike, and I rode it for him to his house.
Yeah. You know what, though?
Yeah.
Nick did the same thing for me.
My brother did it for me.
Yeah. I had no idea what I was doing. Might have laid it down at one point in time, but that was a little bit of my riding coach over there.
Definitely the best decision I ever made. I get low-key depressed like when the weather turns to crap and I can't ride. But like I was just talking to our buddy Bill last night, Badaluca. I was talking to him last night, and I was like, every time I walk past the motorcycle every day, I'm just like, one more day, baby girl. We're one day closer to the nicer weather. And my girlfriend's sitting there looking at me, she's like, you're so dumb.
I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, she understands, but it's just like, that I just sit there and I talk to it like it has feelings or whatever. I'll cover it up and I'm like, all right, it's not nighttime. Like, let's go night. And she's like, will you stop?
There's lip print kisses all over it.
As there should be. I still have a riding jacket that Nick got me when I did have my bike. I probably don't fit in it anymore, but I refuse to get rid of it because if I ever lose some weight. Yeah,
that's what I say too.
Yeah, if I ever lose some weight, you never know. But
can't wait until this thing gets to get slung on again for the summer and get to ride. So I mean, that's awesome, dude. I just have to say, on behalf of not only the community, but on behalf of the organization, and I think I speak for everybody else when I say this, is we cannot thank you enough for being who you are, and we cannot thank you enough for always being in our corner, no matter what the fight is. And I have to say, I don't want to say it's a selfish thought, but when someone will ask us, they're like, what if you can't solve the problem? Like, what if you get a Purple Heart recipient and you can't solve, what they need help with? And I turn around and I just
challenge accepted.
I'm like, that's not going to happen.
I don't know what that means. I'm like,
because means. You don't understand the level of support that this organization has with the community. And it's like, if I don't know where to go, I'm immediately coming to you. Because if I don't have that contact, and I have a lot of contacts in the community, but if I don't have that contact, I'm immediately coming to you. And between you and I, it's like honored. We can solve all these problems.
Yep.
And if it wasn't for you and the restaurant and who you are as a person and your values, your morals, your integrity, everything, it's this organization wouldn't be at the level that it's at.
Oh man,
Doug, you gotta.
I appreciate it, guys, but
no, I'm serious.
I know though. Yeah, you're right though. You're right.
When you do this for so long, and you work with the same person over and over and over, like you get to see that behind the curtains thing, right? So you see the level of effort that's put into it. So it's like going on 7 years now, and not a day that goes by that we don't have the support.
It's the bedrock of what we do, right?
Yeah. I've also seen behind the curtains of what you guys do, and all the volunteers that put in hard work to make this organization amazing. So, I have a nice insight of all the logistical nightmares that you have to go through.
Yeah. And when you're not involved with us, like, I just want to bring light to real quick to the fact of, like, when you're not involved with us, you're also on the board of directors of another organization that I was involved with at one time called V.E.T.S, which is Veterans Equine Therapeutic Services, which offers equine therapy to veterans.
Correct.
And it does work. Like, I have to say, it does legit
Which
work.
is awesome because I just found out last night that he's gone through the program twice.
Yeah, I went through the program twice.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like, sweet.
I went out there as kind of like, all right, I was scared of horses, but I went out there and kind of did their thing. And then afterwards, I was like, all right, well, now that fear is gone, like, I want to go back into the program and experience it from a different perspective. And when I went through it the second time, it was completely eye-opening, and it was life-changing to the point where I was just like, all right, I need to be involved. So I was their veteran outreach director for 2 years. And so yeah, when it comes to that organization, like, I can definitely say, like, if veterans are looking for a different modality of therapy.
Good word.
I know, word of the day, right?
Wow,
it was on the roll of toilet paper this morning. I was like, modality. Looked at the definition. We're good. I'm going to use that today.
I'm using it.
But yeah, like, so if you want, let's talk about that for a hot minute before,
I printed up a little bit. Thor sent me some stuff, and I kind of just crunched it down. So
Sure.
Crunch away.
Let's hear about it, man.
I don't bore the.
Let's hear about it.
You guys.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So obviously, I belong to V.E.T.S. I'm part of the board. It took me a while to actually do it because I was with a couple of other really bad nonprofits and that left a bad taste in my mouth. Mm-hmm. So it took me a couple of years to really. I want to do my homework before I jumped into something like this. And about 2 years ago, I was going through some dark shit like most of us do. And Thor goes, why don't you come down to the farm and let me show you around. We had a nice talk, and being around the horses, like, even though I've never had anything like what Doug's been through yet, it left me feeling like good.
Yeah, right. Good. I don't like to ride horses, but I don't mind taking care of them.
No, it's all groundwork. It's all groundwork. So it is.
Groundwork was important. So about a week later, that's when I made my decision to be like, you know what, because of meeting other people and some of them being my customers through the grapevine, seeing the good that it did, I was like, okay, I'm ready to join. So just bear with me because I can't rattle it off as good as you two gents.
We just make things up as we go along.
You're good at it. Founded by veteran Craig McAllis, Thor Torgerson, and Christina Clark, which Christina's part of this organization, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was founded in 2015, located in North Stonington, Connecticut. It's part of the Lighthouse Homestead Stables. The V.E.T.S program provides therapeutic opportunities to veterans and their families through equine therapy. Ooh. We're working with horses educational classes like outdoor skills and archery. They have the ability to offer agricultural programs. There is never a cost to the veteran, no matter how long they want to stay with the program. The entire program is supported by donations and organizations 100% volunteer run, which is very true. And most nonprofits are. Without volunteers, we can't do the mission at hand.
Yeah.
What is it that we do here at V.E.T.S? Okay, that's my part. The groundwork is learning how to work with horses and understand them, but the deeper goal is for our participants to learn life skills like empathy, emotional management, communication skills, and how to create trust-based relationships. So if you are a veteran and interested in the program, go on to vetsct.org.
Yeah, we'll put a link to this in the video's description too.
That's want my number. You can message me, send me a private message, whatever you want to do. I'm like, this program is only getting better. We have some really good people on board finally, and we're building a tribe like you guys.
Yeah,
we're building a tribe.
Gotta get your people,
and that's what we do. We help each other out. It's not about just one organization. We network through each other, and that's how we get shit done. But in April, it'll be our second annual, and we're doing this every year from now on. We partnered up with HAVA, Honoring American Veterans Field. It's called the Rock Up event. So it's small, usually around 15 people. It's totally free for the veteran, the whole weekend. We do It's a 2-day event, classes learning horse skills, outdoor survival skills, archery, and shooting skills.
Nice.
It is limited to a small group of veterans, and we will be announcing registration the next couple of months, requirements on the website and Facebook.
Sounds like Cowboy 101, and I want to do it. It sounds awesome.
Last year, Kurt from Academy in Salem, they have a representative from Connecticut, partnered up with him. He's been great. Last year's, for instance, Condor gave us rucks, and inside was axes, flints, water, like all kinds of necessities, like a 3-day bug out bag.
Nice.
Free for everything. They got bows and arrows, really nice compact bows, arrows, the whole 9 yards. But a ruck, what is a ruck? It's a knapsack or whatever.
I don't know. I had a sea bag.
All right, sea bag.
Which consisted of 6 whitey-tidy underwears,
The whole thing
5 pairs of socks. So it's not the same thing as a ruck.
But in your ruck, a lot of people carry a bunch of crap they don't need, negative energy. Get rid of all that stuff. Use the ruck as a platform for putting good stuff in there. Things that you would need to get through the day or the upcoming days. How about life? And fill it with a lot of proactive, positive energy in there.
The tools that help you succeed, not the ones that weigh you down, right?
And learn some skills along the way. Have some fun. Try something new. And you know what? It's kind of like an adult camper in the summer.
Ride some horses. Shoot some sticks. It's going to be great.
So we'll be doing that sometime in April. Soon they're going to be putting up some stuff on the website and Facebook. And I already have a little list that I always like to put in. That some people that truly deserve to be there. And take it from there.
You'll have to get out there and check that out.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking.
Videotaping you riding a horse, which sounds hilarious.
Or maybe donkey.
I do have a cowboy hat.
Of course you have.
You got a nice belt buckle too.
You like that? All right. Well, thank you for that, Niko. That's awesome. What we'll do too is once you get the registration and all the links and stuff, definitely send it to us, and we can advertise it and put it out on our multiple platforms to get people all set up and ready to go. So I just want to thank you for being on the show. It was really awesome, really great to have you on as our first guest, right?
Before we popped out, I gotta say something, all right? Before this, my friend Kevin Brown is here tonight.
Oh yeah. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
What's going on over there?
He's an author. He's a retired fighter. He's a man of many masks. But Kevin and myself are looking to start our own podcast.
Let's do it.
And just something fun.
On my mic.
It's gonna be called Nick and Kevin Get Loud. How about that shit? Hopefully. Raw, honest perspectives on a wide range of topics, from personal rants to current events. Whether you're looking for a good laugh or some real talk, we've got you covered. Stay tuned for Nick and Kevin Get Loud.
Okay.
And with that said, we'll be drinking some beers and whiskey and probably smoking cigars.
I'm going to need at least 3 spots on that show. What do you think, Kevin? Yeah, I'm going to need Kevin's 3 spots on that show because I got a lot of stuff to say. I'm just kidding.
Well, that's the whole point.
We would be honored if you guys from the Gardens of Purple Heart would come over to
Definitely.
Nick's Bunker Bar.
Oh, Nick's Bunker Bar. Check it out. Not every day you can wear Niko on your chest.
My
you like
God,
that?
that is so sexy. It looks good on you. Mine has a barrel roll.
Mine actually has a barrel on it, the one I have. So,
Niko, again, thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, gentlemen.
It was definitely long overdue, but we really appreciate everything that you've done for us.
Yeah, man.
It's been an honor, and my support for you guys and the organization would continue to my last dying breath.
Beautiful. Thank you.
We appreciate that, man.
We appreciate that.
I'm honored.
All right. And with that, I'll let Seth close it out for you.
Yeah, guys. So we're getting into 2023. We've got a lot of exciting news. For those of you who can see it behind me, this is the beautiful It's Pickle Time shirt with my lovely co-host over here stuffing his face with a pickle like he usually does.
It's just embarrassing.
So we'll post the links in the description of where you can purchase this beautiful piece of apparel. And yeah, 2023 is going to be great. All right, we got more guests coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have you back. You're a treasure.
I'm going to bring some.
You're a national treasure, and you need to be protected.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
Bring some
please.
pizzas.
Yeah.
And margaritas.
Absolutely. Why not? Yeah, we got some crazy stuff lined up. We're going to have more guests. We're going to introduce some of the other Guardians, right? Have them come out so that way our audience can get to know them a little bit more. Maybe go do some crazy stuff. I won't give a whole lot of things away, but I'm thinking tanks, maybe helicopters underwater. We have a
lot. We have a lot of stuff in the works.
There will be waivers we're going to have to sign for some of the stuff that we're going to be doing.
There's a lot of stuff in the works, not only for the podcast, but for the organization stuff that we are working on internally that'll make people's heads spin. They're going to look at this and be like, where are you guys going with this? But in nothing but.
If you guys want to go diving,
let's do it.
That scares the crap out of me.
No.
I'll do it with you though.
We'll go in a pool.
All right, cool. I'm down.
This is like a kiddie pool, like 6 inches deep. I'm just flopping around.
Seaweed in there?
Yeah, it's not even seaweed. It's just day old lettuce from the restaurant.
And with that, I'm out.
But no, it's gonna be great. We're gonna, we're looking at sponsors. We're gonna have some people coming up pretty soon, so it's gonna be awesome. So to everybody out there's watching, thank you for watching Cover Down. We look forward to seeing you this year. It's going to be fun. If you're out there in the world, you see a vet, shake their hands. You don't have to shake ours, but we'll shake yours, whether you like it or not. Other than that, Happy New Year, everybody. And yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
We out.
Hey, good morning. My name is Niko Alevras. Some of you know me as Greek Freak. Today I'm at Arlington National Cemetery. My friend Dana, his wife and I, and our friend Charlene, they're running the Marine Corps Marathon, 47th annual. But one of the reasons why I'm here also in Washington, D.C. is to pay tribute and respects to a fallen American hero. My friend and brother, Frank Pops Adamski. His son is buried here at Arlington National Cemetery, Section 60. This is Frank. Came to pay our respects. One of the things that I was asked to do is just say a little something about Pops. Pops is one hell of an amazing man. He wears his heart on his shoulder. He's also part of Guardians of the Purple Heart Riders. And something about Guardians of the Purple Heart, they are a beautiful Connecticut-based nonprofit veterans organization. They honor wounded American veterans, combat veterans, that have earned the Purple Heart recipients medal. That's anybody that knows anything about a Purple Heart. It's a big thing. It's a act of honor. Somebody that's been killed or wounded in combat receives a Purple Heart. So Guardians of the Purple Heart, what they do is they seek out and find Connecticut-based Purple Heart recipients, and they honor them. They honor their families. They help them out with daily struggles, try to help them cope with some of the things that they struggle with from building a ramp to your house or putting up a new roof or doing something to help out them and their families. They also put out a big ride. It's called the Guardians of the Purple Heart Poker Run every year to try to raise money and to help these veterans out and their families. I'm a proud supporter of the Connecticut Guardians of the Purple Heart. I'm also a board member of V.E.T.S, Veteran Equine Therapeutic Services. And at the end of the day, it's about helping the veterans and not only themselves, but families. You know, it all takes 1% of us to do the right thing, to step up and say thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for putting yourselves out there so we can enjoy our daily humble lives, you know, gratitude. So with all my heart, all my being, I'm honored and grateful to be here today, honoring not only an American hero, but my friend Pop's son, and all these
fine young men and women that had given up their lives for the ultimate sacrifice for this country. God bless America and God bless our veterans. Thank you.